I'm so tall. I feel good with this microphone. So, welcome to springtime in Nodine Hill. We've been worried about the weather all week, and you guys have all given us tons of faith that there's nothing to worry about. It's amazing to see this sea of support around this Dayspring transformation. This is an incredible milestone for Westhab, for the Nodine Hill community, for Yonkers. And honestly, as I look around, so many people have touched this in different ways. I barely have to explain what Dayspring's all about, but I will anyway. What we're creating here is truly transformative for this community and truly unique. So we formed a really unique partnership with the Hudson Valley Presbytery and the Good Shepherd Presbyterian Church to acquire this building and breathe new life into it and create a state-of-the-art, full-service community center for this community. In doing so, we are also partnering with the church for the long run and preserving services on Sunday that will stay intact in the new building. We're partnering with so many people to deliver a full slate of services to children and families. The end product will be a completely comprehensive service model, a one-stop shop for this neighborhood. We bring in tons of artists and educators. Our principal partner is Neighbors Link, who will deliver tons of vocational and adult services as we make that happen. So that wasn't enough for us. That wasn't complicated enough. We started looking at the parcel next door. We got incredibly strong support from the mayor and from the city of Yonkers, who said, we got to go big. We got to really invest in this community. We found a way to acquire the adjacent parcel and created the plan for a 63-unit affordable and supportive residence called Dayspring Commons.
Yes.
I respond very well to applause. That's encouraging. Yeah. Wondering what I was going to have to do up here. So, looking at the Dayspring Community Center, together with Dayspring Commons, our vision has become a Dayspring Campus, a real anchor for this community, as well as a real catalyst. This is not about fixing a broken community. This is about investing in a proud community and making it a beautiful and wonderful place to live and to work and to call home. And Nodine Hill is on the rise again. This stuff doesn't happen easily. We have lots of friends and donors and supporters and grantors and banks and everyone. And you're going to hear from some of those people today. But I will just say, to make something like this happen, we had early seed money from the J.P. Morgan Chase Foundation that helped us do the acquisition, that helped us begin to get architectural plans together and begin seeing that plan through. And then it only was fueled by support from the city of Yonkers, by Westchester County, by New York State, by tax credit equity with private investment from TD Bank, syndicated by Raymond James. It takes a whole amazing group of people to come together. The stars need to align to allow something like this, to allow a vision like this to take shape. And those stars aligned here for us at Dayspring. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome, and he can welcome all of you to his city, our great mayor, Mike Spano.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And good morning, everyone. It's so good to see all of you here. You know, there's so many wonderful things happening here in our very own city of Yonkers. Enjoying here, obviously, with the council president, Mike Cater, with the majority leader, Mike Sabatino, with the county legislator-elect. Jose.
Jose.
It's all right. I only know him 30 years. But and as I'm standing here and I'm looking over at Nodine Hill, I was born and raised on the other hill called Park Hill, that way, and to come over to Nodine Hill to see this piece of property. Mr. Nodine lived over there. Be curious to probably at some point dig up everything there is to know about Mr. Nodine, because they created a whole hill on him. So there should be a lot for us to talk about. But there's a lot of things happening in our city, and we're very, very proud of what we're doing in terms of reducing the crime rate, bringing in economic development, over $3.5 billion worth of economic development. Our schools are on the move and are on the upward trend and are growing, and that's a good thing. And as we develop and go through this renaissance in this wonderful community of ours, we have to know that when the tide goes up, that all the boats go up with it. We want to make sure that when people who live in our community, who have lived their lives in this community, have the same opportunities as those that we want to bring into our community. And what Westhab does is provide that opportunity for us. A chance for us to keep people who maybe are struggling a bit, but need a little extra hand, or just want to stay in the community that they were born and raised in. And that's what this investment does. It allows us to reinvest in Nodine Hill and to do so, whether it was the $1 million or so that we were able to use using CDBG funds to invest in the Dayspring Church, or the work we were able to do with you on that property just to the other side here. It's about partnership. And it's taken the private sector, the public sector, the not-for-profit sector. In this case, we're having our not-for-profit with the religious organization, all of us working together because we want one thing, to take this wonderfully diverse community, and it is one of the most diverse communities of its size in all of America, where everyone has a seat at the table, where there is an opportunity to be heard, and where everyone's opinion counts. And all that working together has provided us with that type of renaissance that we're seeing happen here today. So I want to say thank you to Westhab, because you've been a great partner for the past 8 years. I know you'll continue to be a great partner for us. To Governor Andrew Cuomo, and I see the commissioners here, the New York State Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance, and the New York State Homes and Community Renewal. All of you working hand in glove with us in seeing this vision put before us. And this property, which has lain vacant for a long, long time, will now be filled with life, filled with families, filled with hope and love. So I can't wait. Thank you.
The mayor speaks to the history here a little bit. Let me just do one thing. I'm sure we can get slightly more cuddly, right? Can we try to bring people in from the back a little bit? This just means we have lots of friends. And you can even fill in here. If you're not here now, we're forgetting about you. So the mayor speaks to the history a little bit. Peter Nodine, for whom the neighborhood is named, lived in the house that was on this property right here. I'll also mention when the church was founded in 1879, its founding name was the Dayspring Presbyterian Church. That's where we kind of recovered that name from, because we really see our project as a dayspring, a new light for this community. It just felt so perfect and really in keeping with the spirit of our partnership. So we are certainly standing on history here as we look to the next chapter. Next, I'm going to welcome from Yonkers City Council, our Council President, Mike Cater.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Mayor Spano. On behalf of the entire City Council, I know we got our Majority Leader here, Michael Sabatino, and I believe the Councilwoman for the district, Councilwoman Corazon Pineda-Isaac, should be on her way. We are all excited to be here. They always say Yonkers is a city of 26 neighborhoods or 36 neighborhoods. And in Nodine Hill, I am comfortable and confident to know that Daysprings will be the anchor of this neighborhood. Between a community center and affordable housing, many needs are being met. The Nodine Hill, when I was a child, I had aunts and uncles that lived on all these side streets, and I remember coming here frequently and even playing by the water tower and trespassing. But it's fond memories as the mayor makes reference to. But this is an important project. It was years in the making. Under the mayor's leadership, he laid the groundwork. I'm proud to catch the tail end of it, working with the majority leader. And I just want to tell everyone a quick story. About 2 years ago when I took office, I met Richard personally, and he says, Mike, I want to take you by all the Westhab properties. And we went all around. And he goes, but I want to take you up to Elm Street. I want to take you up to Elm Street. And when we got here, we were literally standing somewhere on this gravel somewhere. And
it was muddy then, too.
It was muddy then also. And you could see the excitement you could see his youthful exuberance and the vision that he shared. And it was contagious. And I remember we left off, I shook his hands, I said, Richard, I got another appointment, but I'm sold. Continue the great work. So Richard, great work with the Westhab. Thank you, Mayor Spano, for making this project happen. And I look forward to being here in about 2 years when we start filling those vacancies. Thank you everyone for being here. Congratulations all.
Yes, it's definitely been an incredible collective effort. From day one, no one has, no one's done anything but roll out the red carpet for Dayspring and make this happen and welcome this to the city of Yonkers. So it's incredibly exciting. We have great leadership in the state locally. Obviously, our Senator Andre Stewart-Cousins, the majority leader in New York State. I know she has representatives here. We have a fairly new state assemblyman, Nader Sayeh, who couldn't be a bigger supporter. We have our representative here as well. So thank you for being here. There is no building affordable housing without New York State. New York State is an amazing driver and an amazing investor in communities. Homes and Community Renewal leads that charge. They are our partner in so much that we do and in creating affordable places to live for people in New York. So we really are honored to have the Commissioner of HCR here with us today, Ruth Ann Bisnakis.
Thank you, Rich, and good morning, good afternoon, everyone. We are really delighted to have Westhab as a partner at the state. We can't do what we do without wonderful organizations like Westhab on the ground. You're lucky to have them in Nodine Hill. You're lucky to have them in Yonkers. We're certainly lucky to have them in the state. So I thank you, Rich, for you and to you and your whole team for making complicated projects like this happen. I would also thank the mayor for your support of projects like these and all the local elected officials. It is not everywhere we go that people receive us with open arms with affordable housing, so we are delighted when we get to come to Yonkers and people are supportive of the work that we do. I also had the pleasure of being on the other side of the town, 2 weeks ago, just before Thanksgiving, handing out some turkeys at the Neverhand Community Center with the mayor, who is basically like a celebrity when you walk into a community center, and it was sort of a lovely, warm event. But on behalf of the Governor Cuomo, my name is Ruth Ann Bisnakis. I'm the Commissioner of HCR, and I am delighted to be here to celebrate the beginning of what's going to be a tremendously exciting project for the city of Yonkers. As I had said, we have done a lot of work actually on the other side, over by the river with the Housing Authority, and it's really important to us to be preserving existing housing across the state to make sure that people who've lived in that housing can stay there into the future, to right foot older properties that can get a new 30, 40-year life. That's important to us. But these new construction projects are really incredibly, incredibly important to be able to provide new opportunities for new individuals, new families, new seniors to be able to come and live in a city and to be able to see it transform a block in a site like this. 63 new apartments in what is really a tremendously attractive and beautiful building. Also something that I'm a little bit fussy about generally, to make sure that the things that we do are as beautiful as market rate buildings around the state. And these buildings also have amenities, and for young families and individuals who get to live in them, having a community room, having an exercise room, having laundry in your building, having private parking, they're what allow you to stay in your home and to be able to live stably for the long term. So we are really incredibly excited that not only will the building be beautiful, have wonderful services, it'll be near what is going to be a really exciting and beautiful transformation of the community center that will also be accessible for kids and teens. It will have continuing adult education and employment services. Things are critical to allowing people to stay and live and grow. I guess I would say we often feel that while we do these individual projects, and in this case attached to a community center is really sort of a doubling down for us, we are really invested in communities. We're invested in Yonkers. We have been financed almost 3,000 units of housing in the last 8 or 9 years in Yonkers, and we're committed. We're here for the long term. This project is part of the governor's 100,000 unit 5-year affordable housing plan, and we couldn't be happier to have sort of marquee projects like this be part of that. We're about halfway through the plan. We are on time and on budget, as it were, and we hope people really feel the change, and that there's really a lot of investment both in existing affordable housing around the state and in new construction like this project. We think it's incredible. We think it's incredibly important to make investments to protect existing housing, to give people opportunities, so that really everyone can benefit from the resurgence that Yonkers is seeing already. So the only better thing about coming to a groundbreaking is how quickly can I come back and cut a ribbon. So with that, I'll say congratulations.
So the last piece of our kind of, public puzzle here with the city, with the state, is also Westchester County. That's been a tremendous partner. And I know that Norma Drummond is here with us from the planning department. I just want to thank Norma and the county for all of your leadership and all of your partnership and all that we do. So it takes a lot of different pieces to fund this thing and believe in this thing and invest in the thing, but we are invested in this ribbon cutting, and we really want to come back and see this thing built. So I'm going to introduce our Vice President of Real Estate Development, Andrew Jermansky, to thank some of the folks that are on the ground, the consultants and the contractors that are making this happen.
I'm thrilled to be here today. This project wasn't my vision. I think it was Rich's and the people at Westhab who were here before me. But I was here every day working on it, and I have a great team, and we put together a great group of people who were able to both finance it, design it, and now construct it. So it's a little dry, but I just want to run through as many of these people as possible quickly, because they're instrumental in getting these projects done, and I appreciate all the hard work that they did. So from HCR, with Nicole Ferreira, Rebecca Crimmins, Joanna Chewinska, Gerald Ellis, and Sean Fitzgerald, and Leora Jontif, who's not there anymore. From OTDA, Dana Greenberg and Jason Harper. From Raymond James, Daryl Seavey and Kelly McCollum. From TD Bank, Laurabelle Cruz and Bradley Turner, both of them are here today. From Westchester County, Norma Drummond, Jane Lindow, and Jim Campanello. I hope I said his name right. From the city of Yonkers, Wilson Kimball, Lou Albano, and Lee Ellman, and Jamie McGill and Mary Liris from the IDA, and their attorneys, David Rothman and Mike Curdy, who were both really helpful throughout. Vincent Pesey and Dave Barbuti from the Buildings Department, who helped get through some pretty challenging drawings for both projects. Our design team, we have from Off-Gang Architects, Audrey Bubesi and Edwin Vasquez, and Emmanuel, who started on the project and left midway through. We have a couple of other architects now, Joe Candiff and Joe Bertolino, who will be working during construction. We have their engineers from Brooker Engineering, Morzoff, WW Engineering, and Cityscape. We have multiple sets of engineers on both sides of the project, so I just wanted to thank them as well. Anthony Goccioni from JMC, and then we have the construction team. We have all the pillars. We have Paul, Tony, John, JP, and also Jesse, who's not a pillar, but
Honorary.
Yeah. We have Bright Power, we have Benchmark Title, we have Olive Branch Consulting taking on various different roles, and then we have various attorneys, Jim Veneruso and Steve Vaginelli from the city, who helped us with our land use approvals, and then our transaction counsels, Megan Altador and Dana Roper from Nixon Peabody, and then my staff on this project was Stephen Elson. He was with me throughout every single day. He did a fantastic job, and I'm really thankful to him for all of his hard work and late nights. And then just generally, I appreciate being here, Rich. Thank you for hiring me. And having this be the first project I got to work on.
Now you see why I had Andrew do that list. It totally takes a village. So as we said, deals like this are public-private partnerships with private equity. We've been delighted to work with TD Bank, and happy to have Laurabelle Cruz with us to say hello.
Hi everyone, I am so thrilled to be here today. TD is very proud to be your partner in this very special transaction. Within 2 short years, we'll be here cutting the ribbon to 63 new affordable and supportive housing units. and a center for the community to enjoy. TD focuses on affordable housing in the communities we serve. TD's commercial real estate group is comprised of a group of esteemed people specialized in affordable housing and a community development, community capital group who invest in the tax credits through our syndicator partners like Raymond James. TD's investment in this project is $35 million, 19 enhancing the New York State bonds, and $15 million in the tax credits. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. TD investment in making a positive impact is part of what makes TD different. We understand the underlying meaning of these transactions. It's about the people and about changing lives. At TD, like everyone here, believe that people deserve a decent and safe place to call home. TD not only embraces this philosophy, but is exhibited in how we do our business every day. I want to thank all of you, our public partners, private partners, for being here today, for making this possible. As a fellow Westchester resident, I know that our county, the city of Yonkers, is committed to affordable housing, and I believe that the support is only getting stronger. Thank you all, and congratulations.
As I mentioned earlier, Westchester County and Norma Drummond and her whole team are invaluable to what we do. I will say that Westchester County recently released its affordable housing needs assessment, or its housing needs assessment, which showed the need that we see every day in all of our communities. People are struggling to have a place to live, and as we've said all along, from the state to the county to the local cities, there's really shared investment in making Westchester an affordable place for people to live, and to create a long-term diverse community that will thrive. So here with us, I'd like to invite Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Certainly on behalf of the County Executive, George Latimer, it's a privilege to be with you this morning for an exciting opening as far as groundbreaking for the Dayspring. And while the day may be just a tad bit cold outside, we know so well that Westhab, a premier developer of fair and affordable housing for Westchester County, in partnership with the city of Yonkers, in partnership with all the great public and private organizations doing this, to create the kind of facility that is matching exactly what Rich just talked about. In our newly released housing needs assessment, there is not one place in Westchester County that matches the affordability that's necessary. It is a crisis. And that crisis can only be resolved with partnership. Because the housing doesn't cost less to build, does it, Rich?
No, sir.
It does not cost less to build. But in order to bring down the levels, or to make the levels affordable, you need all the partners. And whether it's our state friends at OTDA, the federal government, our local partners, and certainly the county in making those investments. In our recently adopted budget, the ink is still dry, getting dry from that yesterday, we put in another $20 million for the county's contributions for infrastructure or for acquisition. In this case, it was just utilizing acquisition dollars, and we are so happy to be a portion of that. Norma Drummond, the Commissioner of Planning, there's not enough to say about Norma, because again, these things, the creativity that Westhab has to have, and working with the Yonkers IDA and Mayor Spano, Commissioner Kimball, and the whole team, that does not happen alone. And without our professionals like Norma Drummond, and certainly who was traveling with me, Blanca Lopez from the County Executive's Office, Dr. Lopez, by the way, for folks that don't know, from a housing perspective, we are fully committed to continuing that work. And that's why I was glad to hear you say you're proud to be a Westchester County resident, but more importantly, I'm proud as a member of this administration that we are fully committed to working with great partners like Westhab, the city of Yonkers, and all of us here together to continue to have outstanding projects like this. The need in Westchester for new construction from the housing needs assessment was 11,000 units. That's just the new construction component. That's not the rehab work that needs to be done. So we got to continue this work. We got to do some more groundbreakings, and we got to continue to work with all those partners. Thanks a lot, and I'm looking forward to breaking some ground.
So if the need is 11,000 new units, and this is 63, Andrew, we have 10,900, and I was a social work major. There is one more funding source to make this whole puzzle work. So we have incredible integration from every level of government. We have our banking partners and our equity partners. But the last element is you. There was still a gap here, and not because our public partners aren't incredible, but because we chose to gut renovate a 100-year-old plus church, and that doesn't happen easy. And this outcome, we are not accepting anything else than a community center that everyone in this room would be proud to attend and send your children and attend family programs in. We're committed to a place with every bell and whistle that there could possibly be for families, with on-site childcare, with full after-school programs. The new Dayspring will become a pipeline to college, careers, and this is not, this is a center that will be community-owned, that our community will come to daily and thrive in 7 days a week. And to see that vision through, we formed a Dayspring campaign to basically back up this effort, to fill any gaps on the Capitol, and then also to create a program fund. So when we have big, beautiful new space, we have big, beautiful new programming to fill that space. So with us today are folks that have supported this thing from day one. Many members of our board are here today. If our board could just raise their hand, would be great. These are folks that open up their heart and sometimes other things to make sure that Westhab thrives, that believe in this from day one. So we have a campaign to raise $5 million, and we have already crossed the halfway point and crossed $2.5 million on that goal. So while our amazing contractors build this thing, we also have a mandate to close this thing out and fund the balance and make sure that when we cut that ribbon, we're ready to go with the programming of our dreams. So I'd like to welcome quickly the chair of our Dayspring Committee, who's been a huge champion from day one and a member of our board, Ken Hanau.
Thank you, Rich. Good afternoon. I have to say I'm humbled and honored to be here and be part of this ceremony, and it's this beautiful December day. This sun has come out appropriately. Look, this is a really important day, special day for this community, and you know what we're trying to do here is just be a small part of this amazing collective effort to get all this money raised, which is just terrific. Just by quick background, I had the good fortune of meeting Rich 6 or 7 years ago through the Reformed Church in Bronxville, which has had a wonderful affiliation with Westhab over a long period of time. And I came over to this great old church here and walked through it with Rich, and of course his youthful exuberance. Not anymore, but he drew me in immediately, and he's an amazing guy, and this whole team at Westhab is absolutely incredible. And it was more of a vision at that point than a plan, than a financial plan. We weren't quite sure how this was going to go. I think there were a few naysayers out there, but anyone that knows Rich and this team at Westhab, you would never ever bet against them. And so I get emotional, I cry a lot. But just to think that we're here at this moment, as we've been through this together, is absolutely amazing. So, as Rich said, I chair the Dayspring Committee and on the board of Westhab. I just candidly want to thank the committee who's put a lot of effort into this and to the board at Westhab. It's an amazing group of people for their support. As Rich said, we have just crossed the halfway mark, so we've raised $2.7 million. A lot of generous donors that are here today. I want to particularly do a shout out to the Hearst Foundation and to the Weinberg family, David and Vivian Weinberg, who are the sons of the founder of Westhab, which is really cool, who have been incredibly generous. And the money's already been put to work in terms of a family reading hour and a bunch of other programs that we're doing here. And so we are excited to finish this out and contribute in our small way to this great effort, and so we look forward to having discussions and hopefully getting the support of you all and other folks around here. But again, thank you very much, and really appreciate this, be a part of it, and let's break some ground.
So the only promise I need is when Ken calls, just answer, okay? It's okay. It's okay. It's for Dayspring. So thank you all. We've said it a couple times already. The moment that we're really looking for is the moment that comes in 2 years and welcoming new families to the community center and to their new home. I will note for our picture today, I'm going to ask everyone that spoke and all of our elected officials to join me outside. Andrew was a huge proponent of this. We had to go half sledgehammers to represent the renovation and half shovels to represent the new construction. So this is both new and making new. So I just want to thank everyone again, and we are all in Dayspring together. Thank you. All right, you're going to need one of these. Someone's going to have to help me with shovels and other things, but it's going to happen. I don't know who's going to get what, but the sledges are heavy. Oh. I guess Ken's getting the sledge. All right, we have more. Yeah, I got youthful today. My hairline does not represent youthful.
Just put one of those hard hats on.
Here, let's make our way there.
They actually kind of went off for us already. Good, how are you? Good to see you too. Oh, okay. With me?
Doing it alone, Jim. Oh,
Stay off the golf course and you'll be
how's it going? Good to see you. My youthful exuberance carried me out here. All right, we'll do shovels in the middle, my friend.
Kids like your age.
I know, right? We got equipment coming. Hold on. No. We got gear.
hard hat.
I don't know, I'm 43.
I'm 38.
Sorry.
My kids just age me day by day.
Who looks younger? That's the point. Who looks younger?
Come on.
You want to get a sledge with these guys? We'll do a city council sledge. You got your sledge. That's legit. We need Kent, Jenkins.
In that picture.
Yeah, the act. Both when you're not the act, right?
Everyone got a helmet? This is happening. This is an OSHA
Where's the lady
site.
from the TD?
Hold on. We need Andrew. We need Ken Jenkins. And where is Ruth Ann? Deliver me a commissioner. And you got it. Yeah, where's Ruth Ann? I know. I don't know what we're going to do. I guess we'll take a picture of dirt straight, and then we'll hit the dirt. Yeah, where's Ruth Ann? There she is. Ruth Ann, we need you. Jose Alvarado.
You want me to hold your file?
Yes, I'm trying to find somebody.
I'll take it.
Yeah, go ahead. Let Jose get up there.
Jose, come on, my friend.
That's important.
Yeah, how do you hold the sledges?
Plus, just so you don't move out, we can't see you.
All right, so what's it? We'll do shovels in and hold the sledges like you own the place.
Thank you.
Get in there, Ruth Ann.
Huh? Quick.
All right.
Wow, this is like
Yeah, where are we looking?
Who's calling the balls?
In towards the middle.
Everybody looking over here?
All right.
This side first, folks. This side first. There's still cameras.
What are you trying to say?
This side, please.
shake it.
Over on this side, please.
in the center. Where is it?
Over here, on the left. Yours, your right. Everybody good there?
Dead center.
Okay, now we're gonna go for it right here. We're gonna count down from 5. Everybody ready? 1. You wanna hold some dirt up first?
All right, here we go.
Hold the dirt
Oh,
up.
we're getting dirt up. I did not know there would be lifting. All right.
Count 5, 4, 3, 2. We're gonna send it out. Send out the dirt. Ready,
All right.
everybody? 5, 4.
3, 2, 1. See you in 2 years. Eat some sandwiches. We love it.
I don't know who is the shovel collector.